Of course, computer problems first thing in the morning. Dang it. When you practice and you practice and you practice and still. What did Bill O'Reilly said once? Screw it. We'll do it live. Screw it. Whatever. We'll do it live. Anyways, good morning, my friends. Happy Wednesday, June 3rd here, 7 o'clock U.S. Central Time. Wherever you're watching from, please make a comment. Let me know that you're watching. Let me know my fragile ego will absolutely not survive if I don't know that you like me, that you really, really like me. And that's how you aid yourself in the comments, my friends, okay? Hey, my name is Patrick Allman from Stop Doing Nothing Media. You'll see me go live on occasion and talk about various business or life or mindset issues. Our popular topic these days is AI. It's even popular in my world. It's like you can't escape it. And so, as I was, mulling over topics last night to cover and just things I've seen recently, I thought it would be good to see not only the fascinating stuff in AI, but the mundane, boring stuff that I'm really getting the benefits from. If you're ever curious about my AI stack these days, it's I'm pretty much a Claude person. However, I did have to go over to what did I have to go over to get OpenAI to get a key recently. So I'm actually a paying member of Claude right now. I think I might be a paying member of Gemini and a paying member of OpenAI. So I guess that would make me a paying member of Anthropic, a paying member of OpenAI, and because my a lot of my world's on Google, a paying member of Google. And like all things, these are different hammers and different aisles of Home Depot that are useful to you. By the way, give me a thumbs up in the comments if the lighting is okay, if the sound is okay. And please make sure you have a hot beverage in front of you. Mmm. Ah, a cup of boldness every single day is always awesome. So yeah, um, I have an agenda that I'm gonna talk about some of the areas where I'm seeing the gains. Now I experiment a lot, and there are some overall rules I thought I would cover first that are really cool when it comes to the world of AI. You've heard me talk about before that I don't believe AI yet in the world that most of us are using it is either A or I. And that's how I like to start off everything is it's not really smart as intelligent. It's wise. Vinny, my man. Thank you, Charles. Thank you very much. So it's not wise and it doesn't have street smarts. It's just intelligent. Well, it's not fully conscious intelligent. It's not movie intelligent like we think of, an AI robot waking up in the morning and shooting off weapons. It's not that intelligent. And I also don't believe it's 100% artificial. It's just gaining knowledge from us. So they say that a lot of search engine results, a lot of SEO doesn't matter anymore because Google is summarizing all of our information. I really do love that feature. It's never a good idea to bank on SEO. So yeah, it's not artificial. It's getting it from our comments. Something else I would encourage you to think about if you are going to be someone who is somewhat AI centric is, in my opinion, you almost can't overbuy your hardware these days. And what I mean by that is a while back, I went out shopping. I upgraded my MacBook Pro. And so what you're seeing me stream on an M4 Pro with 32/512. And if you're a computer person, you know what 32/512 means. This thing is getting a workout. Over the past 2 or 3 months, I keep an eye on my utilization, on my CPU utilization, and between AI prompting and some coding work that I'm doing with Claude Code and some things like that, my machine is getting its money's worth, let me tell you. So you really cannot overbuy on hardware. Now, that being said, here is a warning I also had in my agenda for you guys is be careful about all the stuff you are building on your local machine. One of the things that AI has done, specifically Claude Code and any of the other coding platforms that you run here locally, is it's basically turned your machine into a server. It's turned your machine into a server where you're hosting apps and you're hosting databases and things like that. And you don't think about that. We live in a very web-centric world in 2026. We're used to applications running in a web browser, right? It's on a server, and a server is just somebody else's computer. But now with things like Claude Code, our server is our laptop. We're testing there, we're running databases there, and just be very careful about setting up things that your company relies on. For my business friends, be very careful about setting up things that your company relies on a personal laptop. Okay, it's not bad, but as somebody with a disaster recovery mindset, keep in mind that other people in the company, other people that need your assets, that need your resources that you're building with AI, they oftentimes won't have access to them because they're running on your local machine. For example, I have a couple of Claude code projects going, and I'm prompting, I'm building features, I'm updating the UI, and all that code is on my machine as the first repository. Now, I 100%, for those of you that are going to comment on this and let me know if you have the same setup, but I at the 100% at the same time, I am pushing code revisions up to Git, and I'm pushing my database changes up to Supabase. If you don't know what those things mean, it's okay. Heck, I didn't even know myself a couple months ago. But so I am backing up a lot and I am versioning a lot, and that's something else. Please make sure co-work remote. Oh, I'm gonna have to look into that. I think I know what that is. I'm not quite sure. I haven't heard of it by that name. I think co-work. When I think of co-work remote, Charles, I always think of me giving instructions from my phone to my laptop from the couch to make a code revision or something like that. But I'm gonna have to look into co-work remote, and that's one of the things is I love hearing about people. If you have any AI tools that are alternatives to what I'm going to talk about today, or that you've noticed work really well in your world, please drop them in the comments for others to see. There is no such thing as the perfect AI tool. When it comes to image generation, when it comes to video generation, there are so many tools out there. And if you ask 10 AI gurus, you're going to get 10 different sets of tools. Okay, so my whole point being is just be very careful about relying on your machine as a central point of business, as a central point of failure. Assume that at some point in time, you're going to leave your laptop on top of your car as you're leaving a friend's house, and you're going to pull away and you're going to forget about it. And that thing is going to go tumbling down. If you make it to I-35, it's going to go tumbling down I-35. More than likely, it's going to roll down your neighbor's street and crack the screen and bust up everything inside of it. And if you're like me, you will be heartbroken. And I do not want that to happen to you. So as you learn all this cool stuff in AI, just make sure it's backed up. I've got local and remote backups running on my machine here. I've got iCloud. I've got Time Machine. I'm versioning all this stuff, and I actually was thinking about getting another cloud backup system because Time Machine is not a backup system. Time Machine on the Mac is a sync system. Huge difference. Okay, let's get into what I've seen when it comes to the biggest gains in the AI gym, and I was very happy with my topic there. So, another overall rule I want to remind you is that I like to use AI to supplement things. I am not one of those people yet who basically has said, oh, I've created 10 AI bots and I just wake up in the morning and give them 30 seconds of instructions and my entire day is run. I am not that guy. Maybe someday, but I am not that guy. I'm dabbling with orchestrators and child agents right now, so I may get there, but I'm just not there yet. Okay, but one of the big things I'm going to start off with right now, and I'm kind of curious about your opinion on this, is that to me, when I go shopping for tools and other things for myself and my clients, is an MCP these days is absolutely mandatory. Either a direct MCP or one through a third party. And for those of you that don't know, MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. Correct me if I'm wrong. And MCP is a fancy way of saying this is a universal way for tools to communicate and to exchange information. Okay, and MCP to me these days is just absolutely mandatory, and that came into play recently when I was shopping for project management tools for my agency. I'm going to get into that here shortly about project management. But when I go shopping for financial software, or when a client comes to me and says, I need this functionality. I want to do this kind of image generation. I want to do this kind of video work. Or I want to do this kind of code thing. The first thing I go do is see, is there an MCP available? If not, and there's an AI available, I might consider using the tool. But these days, MCPs are absolutely essential. And that came into play recently, like I said, when we were shopping for project management software. We're switching away from I'm 90% sure we're switching away from ClickUp. ClickUp, I've come to realize that there are some things that I need out of my project management tools that ClickUp isn't doing for me. And so we're kind of moving to more of a true project management tool versus a glorified list manager. For those of you that use things like Monday, Asana, ClickUp Now, Basecamp, to me, a lot of these tools are just glorified spreadsheets, and I 100% think that about Asana, Monday, ClickUp. They're awesome. You can do all kinds of things with them, but they don't help you manage a project. Okay, by manage I mean help you keep track of milestones, of deadlines, of let you set budgets, of let you track actual versus planned hours and financial money spent. We ended up settling on two tools, and I think I've gotten it down to one tool. One's called Productive IO, and the other one's called Teamwork. And we're probably going to end up going with Teamwork and Teamwork Desk. But these are actual project management tools. And the one of the main criteria when I was shopping was, does it have an MCP available? And we kind of ended up down with Productive IO and Teamwork. Both had MCPs available. And there's just various reasons we're ending up with Teamwork. And I've already used Claude to do some very cool things in Teamwork, and we're going to continue to do that. But got to have that MCP. Something else that I'm seeing a lot of when it comes to ROI out of Claude, if you will, and when I say Claude, just take that to mean the universal tool term for AI, is using prompts to build better prompts. And I put out an AI tip one or two, every and Composio. Oh, I just saw that comment. Yeah, 100%. I'm a Composio fan also. There's a comment on my wall about that. But right before Mr. Pinnacle up there said that, I was going to say, go look on if you don't, this is not a blatant plug for me, but yes, 100% is. If you're not following me on Facebook, on my Facebook profile, like you are on YouTube, make sure you go over there because I try to drop a couple of lessons learned every week when it comes to AI. And I did one earlier this week that talked about the brilliance of using AI to ask AI what it needs. Okay. If you're a new person in AI, or even if you're a seasoned person, by a seasoned person AI, I'm talking like 3 months, right? We're always looking for the perfect prompt to build something. We've been told that that AI is so awesome, and we follow a lot of people. There's some brilliant ones out there, and this is not to dog them at all. If you're not following him yet, go over and follow Jonathan Mast. If someone can link his Facebook profile and or his group in the comments for me, that would be great. But Jonathan Mast is really good at putting out these not perfect, very robust AI prompts, if you will. And he always organizes them in ways like, if you want to do this, here's 3 AI prompts you can do this. Guy's brilliant. And I was actually lucky enough to sit in a bar and hang out with Mr. Mast in Anaheim, California. Went out to Social Media Marketing World and ended up meeting Mr. Mast in person. Got to hang out with Mari Smith. Got to meet all kinds of freaking brilliant people. That was awesome. But these days, cool. That's cool, Vinny. That's cool that you know him. These days, I like to use AI to ask AI, to tell AI, this is what I want to do as an end result. This is what I have. Help get me from point A to point Z, please. And here's a good example. And where this really shines, by the way, is when you have constraints or other requirements and you want to let the AI figure out the solution for those things. Here's a very good example. Let's say you want to start putting out more content every single week. Content is king. Yeah, I wouldn't be live streaming if I didn't need content. I also love to hear the sound of my own voice. But let's say you want to get really ahead of social media, like 2 weeks ahead. And you want AI to help you, but you don't know what AI needs. And another example is a project management. Okay, I'm really heavy into project management because we have an agency here. It's really brilliant to tell Claude that this is your end result. Ask me what you need to help me get there. And I love this, especially in Claude, because it's all point and click. It's really cool to say, I am building a project plan to roll out, high level. Let's say we're building a project plan to roll out high level CRM for a real estate agent in Southern California. This real estate agent has no time to do social media. We're going to be doing it for them. We are going to get half an hour a week to build and repurpose content. The goal of this agent is to bring more visibility to A, B, and C. Ask me questions. This is the brilliant part. You can tell Claude or whatever AI system you're using to ask you the questions to help you build the prompt or the plan. And here's another example I used recently. I told you I was getting into the whole building an orchestrator and sub-agents thing. I went into Claude. I actually have a running conversation in Claude right now where I said, I want to build a system where there's one master agent and child agents to get things done. I do not want to host it on my local machine. That was one of the requirements. I want to host it in the cloud, and this is what you may be doing. This is what you may be doing, Charles. I want to host it in the cloud, and I want it to be running 24/7, independent of my laptop. Claude came back and told me about building something called an orchestrator agent and then child agents, a child agent for content, a child agent for ops, a child agent for project management, a child agent for revenue or finances, and I think one for communication. And so I'm in a long interview process because I pause every few hours with Claude as it's helping me build these things, but not to run on my local machine. It's helping me build them to run and host them remotely. So, for example, one of the things I have done is I've built the orchestrator agent. And the orchestrator agent is just the agent that figures out what the F you want and dispatches it to the other agents. So not only did Claude give me the prompt, Claude told me what service I need to use on the internet to host that prompt, and what service I need to use on the internet to host the child agents and how they would work. So it gave me the prompts to go to another system and then take another Claude orchestrator prompt, put it up there to start to use it to dispatch other agents, which was freaking brilliant if you ask me. I've seen this a lot in project management also. Up until teamwork, some brilliant things in teamwork, I was using Claude for a lot of project management. And I would tell Claude, here is the project we have to do. These are the steps. These are the phases. This is when it has to be done. This is when it starts. Yada, 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 yada. Build me a perfect five phase plan with milestones showing my team and I how to accomplish this. And Claude did it and did it massively well. As a matter of fact, speaking of MCPs, what Claude will also do, and I've dabbled on this, I haven't actually done it yet. What Claude will also do is Claude will build the perfect plan and then push it to my teamwork project management tool. Claude, so I have Claude and Teamwork talking now, right? We use Teamwork for project management for all of our clients, and I have them talking. I could query projects, I could create tasks, I could create notebooks, I can do all kinds of really cool things. I can tell Claude to create and sketch out a perfect project, and then and part of the prompt, I can say, and now go take this and tell me how to get this into Teamwork, and Claude will actually talk to Teamwork and lay out the perfect project plan for me. It's pretty awesome. Now, Teamwork itself is actually pretty good when it comes to laying out project plans based on AI prompts. But at the same time, I like using Claude for that. And then this kind of segues into another point of mine, which I really like, is the interoperability. Let me see, did I have it here? Yeah, interoperability, is that the right word? Of information between your tools. That's something else I love about Claude. Meaning, so we use ClickUp. I've told you that before to manage our agency. Um, and manage the consulting and manage everything has been in ClickUp historically. Okay, one of the reasons I'm migrating away from it is it just feels like a little bit of a closed environment, and I want some of this interoperability now, and I just don't get that with ClickUp. One of those is meeting note planners. Raise your hand in the comments if you use an AI meeting note planner. Oh, I do, Patrick. I've got one right here. Yes, we all use AI meeting note planners, right? I have classically used the ClickUp one because it was kind of an all-in-one tool, and it was very, it was part of the cost of ClickUp. But there's no API access to that. There's no MCP access to that. There's just no way to push that to other places. So we are migrating from that one over to Fathom. And again, I did my research on different note-taking tools that have AI interoperability. And I've dabbled in Fathom in the past, but we're 100% committed on it now. And what this allows me to do now, which ClickUp wasn't allowing me to do, is it's allowing me to basically query my meetings from Claude and also use that information for other places in my AI quote unquote gym. And here's a brilliant one. Again, just tool interoperability is something I'm just freaking jazzed about. Yesterday, I had a meeting with a real estate client on the East Coast. If he's probably watching, and I said, and we had a loom for me because it's back to Fathom. Okay, got it. Cool. By the way, always trust what Charles says on there. Carrie, my boo. Mabu, Carrie and Charles, you guys are like part of my triple brain here, right there. Carrie, I always take the advice from Carrie and Charles, and make sure you go follow them on social media. Also, looks like Carrie's on Facebook. Yeah, make sure you definitely go follow Carrie at TAF Systems. I forgot what I was doing. Oh, so as a result of switching back to Fathom, and by the way, I ask people a lot. Don't ever hesitate to ask people about this. A lot of these tool suggestions, 100%, I got from Carrie Taft from Taft Systems right there. Girl is my queen, queen in more ways than she knows, and she is brilliant. So make sure you go over and follow her also. But something as a result of me kind of rearranging my tools, because now I can sit there in Claude and talk to all my tools. I can tell creating Gamma presentations for every new meeting. Dang it, that's brilliant, Charles. Charles from Pinnacle AI has said, I have been creating Gamma presentations from every new meeting recording. Dang it, I have a Gamma account. I've had a couple of meetings yesterday. Well, you can tell what I'm going to be doing on a third cup of coffee this morning. Okay, I had a thought. Where was I going? Oh, so yesterday I had a meeting with a real estate client, and we're going to be doing some new paid advertising for them, rolling out some Google and Facebook ads for them. And what I'm going to do, so that meeting happened. Fathom was there to take notes, right? So now Fathom knows what everyone said. So now what I was able to do, the first thing I was able to do is after the meeting, I went to Claude. Claude's basically becoming like one of my main interfaces to the internet. Let me know in the comments if that's true for you. I went to Claude and I say, look at that meeting that I just had with Mr. Real Estate Client. Copy the meeting notes summary, and put that over in Teamwork Project. And I gave it the Teamwork Project. 100% Charles, man, 100% squirrel stuff. Doesn't help that I've got like, 10 windows open here. But I was able to use Claude and say, go to Fathom, get the meeting notes and put them over in this Teamwork Project. And bam, it was done. And this really helps myself. This really helps my team to where I have the meeting notes now actually in the project. And then step two of this, here's just where this stuff gets brilliant. And sorry if I'm just geeking out over this stuff. Where the stuff gets brilliant is I can now that I have access to the Fathom meetings inside of Claude, I can tell Claude to build project plans based on exactly what the client said. As a matter of fact, I want to run through my current workflow, a current workflow for client work, and that may be enough to wrap up the show here. And I know Carrie does this to a point also. Is I've got a different client, a longer term client, and we've had several meetings before we actually signed a proposal and got to work. Tons of meetings are where they were showing me about how they work, the system they're migrating from to go into high level. I'm a high level consultant there, high level certified agency. I'm not a consultant. I'm a man. I am the man when it comes to high level. Just ask me. I will always tell you I'm the man. But we've had several Zoom meetings with this client, and we were just gathering requirements every single time and getting transcripts and downloading all that. I fed all of that into Notebook LM. Oh goodness, this stuff just gives me goosebumps even thinking about it. I fed all that stuff in the Notebook LM. So by the time it was time for a proposal for the client, we had 3 or 4 hours of just detailed requirements from 5 or 6 different staff members. I was then able to use Notebook LM to build the proposal. So I have a certain kind of proposal outline that I use. It has certain phases in it. I was able to build the perfect proposal. Perfect because it addressed every single freaking issue that they brought up on every single call. Nothing was missed. The beauty of AI meeting note takers, and if you're not using one, I would highly encourage you to. The beauty of AI meeting note takers is just nothing gets missed. I don't want to do a meeting again without one. But so I had 3 or 4 hours of meetings, all in the Notebook LM, another tool I love, built the perfect proposal. They signed off on the proposal. And then what did I do? I'm able to take the proposal and the Notebook LM information and then say, build me the project plan. I've got the requirements. They've already signed off on the RFP with all the phases and tasks. Now, Claude, take that, or Notebook LM. This one would have to be Claude. Now, take this perfect response to this RFP and put this over in Teamwork with the perfect project plan. So now you have this beautiful chain linking of meeting notes, requirements, RFP approval, perfect, of course, and then RFP into project plan. And then when you show your client the project plan, um, it's like, they're like, oh, that was beautiful. How did you remember that? Wink, 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 wink. I must have remembered all of it. I must have remembered all of it, Mr. and Ms. Client. I didn't write down any of it, right? And if I was to kind of walk away with an overall lesson of how I'm really seeing AI work well, is the fact that thoughts on Basecamp. Oh, goodness gracious. I got some comments here. Let's talk. I mean, we'll talk about that here shortly in a minute. Um, but what was I going to say? Oh, just the interoperability of between tools. And the last thing I'll talk about, and I'm gonna just hop in the comments here in a minute, is long-term planning based on personal constraints. That's the best way I could put this. An area where I'm really enjoying Claude is the ability to do planning on things, but to put down what constraints are. Um, Meaning I only have X amount of time every single day or every single week. I want to accomplish this goal. I want to write a book. I want to lose, 50 pounds, but I've only got, an hour every single week. And that hour is Monday and Tuesday only. Okay. Let's say, I go to the gym. Okay. I go to the gym for at least half an hour to an hour, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And on Saturday, Sunday, I do some other wicked stuff. Let's say you want to use Claude to build a weight loss plan. You can tell Claude, this is my weight. This is how I manage my diet. I have an hour 3 times a week. Help me build a 12-week plan, which is 80% aerobics, 20% weightlifting. My constraints are I can only go to the gym from 5:30 to 6:30 on a Monday night, a Wednesday night, and a Friday night. Help me build the plan, or ask me, remember, because we talked about using AI to prompt yourself to build better prompts. Ask me what you need to build this plan. And then what Claude will do is Claude will probably ask you, several questions. And the beauty about Claude is you can just click on those answers. Um, Goodness, Charles, you're killing me, boy. You're killing me, Charles. Charles is great, as is Carrie. Vinny, besides writing my books on Claude, working out the gym is amazing. Besides writing books, my Claude workout at the gym is amazing. Oh, cool, Vinny. I can't wait to hear about the results. But yeah, so if there's one thing I want you to walk away from this live stream today, I'm gonna look at the comments here shortly. Um, is the fact that if you don't know, if you don't think you're perfect, if you don't think you're a badass like Jonathan Mast, who builds these amazing AI prompts, start asking Claude, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, you pick a tool. Start asking it to ask you what it needs to help you do a thing. I want to, we use an example right here, Mr. Charles Higgins. I love using practical examples. Mr. Charles Higgins might hop into Claude after this call and say, well, here's the project management tool I use right now. Here are my requirements. I need these features, Mr. Claude. We'll call him Mr. Claude or Ms. Claude. What do you need to know from me to help me find a better project management tool based on my requirements? Ask me questions about my project management needs so that we can then build a product comparison matrix. Something else I love using Claude for is product comparison matrices. Matrices, excuse me, it's not matrices, it's matrices. Did I get that right, you grammar nerds? I believe a plural of matrix is matrices. Yep. Yeah, that sounds right. So again, just start using these AI tools to ask it what it needs from you. It'll interview your questions. It'll tell you, it may even say something else I love about it is it may go through a series of 20 questions, and you may answer like 1 through 10, but then it always comes back and reminds you, by the way, we left off on number 5 last week. Let's pick up on number 6 through 10 here. So let's see what we're talking about when it comes to project management tools here in the comments. Yeah, watching Carrie and Charles talk about this stuff in the comments just reminds me of I'm in your head, Charles. I got you, bro. The discussion that Carrie and Charles are having in the comments here is brilliant when it comes to Basecamp versus Teamwork here. I think, Carrie, I think you've been on Teamwork for a while. I've actually used Teamwork years ago, loved it, then fell in love with ClickUp, and then realized I need better financial management of my projects, which ClickUp doesn't give you. I don't think Teamwork gives it to you. Asana doesn't give it to you. Monday doesn't give it to you. Those tools don't let you see how profitable you are. And to me, that's very important these days. I'm really going deep. Yeah, that's what I thought. Carrie's been on it for at least half a year now. Um, these tools, the two that my tool, my final battle. This is just something else to consider, Charles. Teamwork and productive IO is I wanted to be able to have a tool that says I have to do this 12-month project for this client. This is the amount they settled on. They settled on $50,000 for this project. So immediately in Teamwork and in Productive IO, and I haven't seen this in too many tools, I can go in there, I can build um, I can build a project. I can build a project plan based on the budget for the project. So I can go into Productive IO now, and I can go into Teamwork, and I can say I have these five. Of course, disclaimer, you should be doing this stuff well before you ever give someone a quote or a proposal. Okay, that's a given. But now you can actually put this information in the project management tool, Charles, is you can say, here is a fixed fee budget, or here is a time and materials budget, or here is a retainer type of budget. So when you build the project, you're basically telling it the financial issues up front. Let's say it's time and materials, or let's say it's fixed fee, okay? Let's talk about project management, so you're all deep into it. Oh, I'm down. I'm down like the dirt when it comes to project management tools. And I know Carrie would be also. But I can now, when I define my projects, I can say, here is a fixed fee project. Um, we're doing this project is for $50,000. I can put that in there, and now I can put in all of my resources and what they're costing me hourly, either hard costs or soft costs. Meaning, a hard cost is a contractor who charges $50 an hour. That's a hard cost. A soft cost may be someone like me, an internal employee, where I'm not getting paid hourly, but I give myself an hourly rate. Maybe I give myself an hourly rate of $200 an hour, so I know what I'm pulling out of the company for me to work on that project. And same with time and materials, which you can define a project in Teamwork to where you can say, something's going to take 3 hours. I'm going to have to bill that client. And that's something else that I would need it as an advanced tool is the ability to have billable projects and non-billable projects and the ability to have retainer-based projects. So your retainer, you're buying X number of hours a month. We're going to do all these things for you, but it's good to know when you're running up against that. So you can now build these projects and put these financial restrictions in there to help you better manage the profitability of a project. I know my company is profitable. I know my projects are profitable, but I didn't have, the double decimal point precision to say how profitable. I just knew they were profitable. And so it's in my search for better information that took me to, again, Productive IO. And check out Productive IO, Charles, also. Productive IO and Teamwork. There was the third one that was in the running, Rike, Wrike, but I realized it reminded me of Asana and Monday, as it was just glorified list keeping. These tools that are almost too flexible, that let you do anything, that let you manage anything, Rike and ClickUp are two of those. Those are the ones that I just think we've outgrown as a company. And I need a tool that is a project management tool that's aware of projects and knows how to manage them, especially on the financial side. So hopefully, and forecasting. Exactly. Forecasting. Thank you, Carrie, for bringing that up. That's something else that Teamwork has, that Productive has also. Carrie, you brilliant sister. Thank you very much for reminding me. Is the ability to forecast. I can forecast my workloads. I can take that year-long project that's $50,000 and say, oh, I need these 5 resources on it. In addition to everything else that we're doing, where are my constraints? Where are my bottlenecks? Where's my critical path? As a matter of fact, I need to check and make sure that you can manage critical path in Teamwork. I'm not even sure you can. For those of you that are unfamiliar with traditional project management terms, critical path is the longest possible path through a project because it shows you where your risk is. And back in the olden days when I was growing up and I went to formal project management training from PMI, the Project Management Institute, we had to do stuff like forecasting, like Carrie's talking about in the comments, or find the critical path. Because once you find the critical path, you know where your restrictions and constraints and risks are. Risk is something else I want to manage, and sure enough, in Teamwork, I can put in my project risks also. So again, maybe we'll do a live stream. We can do a private, maybe Charles and Carrie, we can do either a private group call or we can do a live stream and teach people because I'm always down with content creation. But that's in the Teamwork too. Yeah, risk assessment and project health. Oh, yeah, the project health settings. Carrie, stop. Carrie, every time you remind me how much I like Teamwork, I'm going to keep talking about Teamwork. okay? And all we hear is 741. Charles has stuff to do, okay? He can't hang on here forever like you and I. He has stuff to do. But anyway, yeah. So again, as a quick recap, and by the way, please do me a favor, follow on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, turn on the notification bell. But what my gains, as a quick recap, my gains in my AI gym, I'm primarily a Claude user now, but I dabble on the others, are the fact that MCPs are a requirement for every single product I even consider nowadays. Even building, I'm going to be probably building MCPs pretty soon too. AI and project management is killer, 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 killer. And using AI to interview you, flipping the script. You know, oftentimes we are querying AI, tell me this, ask me this, but tell the AI to interview you and give you suggestions on how you should do something, and you'll get smarter. As a matter of fact, and I didn't even cover this, because my notes here say talk about prompting, using AI to build the prompts of something you want to ask in the future, and then that's how you build up your prompt library. Here's an example: the response, the RFP, the response. Excuse me, submitting a proposal in response to an RFP. Maybe you don't know how to submit the perfect proposal response yet. But go into Claude, say, I have to respond to a contract. A client wants X, Y, and Z. Give me the prompt that helps me build, once I have the requirements, that helps me build the proposal. And Claude will ask you the questions about your company to build the prompt, and then it'll give you the freaking prompt. And you save that off in your prompt library. Save it off in your prompt library. My prompt library is probably Obsidian these days. I know for a while there it was ClickUp. And Charles, I know you're a big Notion user also. But yeah, anyways, if this has been helpful, let me know in the comments. As always, do me a favor, subscribe on YouTube. Text me if you need anything. My text number is been at the bottom of the screen there. And you know, I hope you have a brilliant freaking day. I really do. Get outside and do something. I've got blisters on my fingers. I got a blister there, and I've got a blister here from tilling, literally tilling my yard yesterday, but it felt good because I wasn't at a freaking keyboard and microphone and a camera. So get out in the real world, enjoy some things today. Be careful in the Midwest. We got storms coming, and now it's time for me to hop off. Go into Claude. Claude, analyze that live stream I just did. Pull out the things that'd be good for a blog post. Pull out the things that'd be good for a slide deck. Pull out things that'd be good for an Instagram carousel. So Claude and I are going to have a serious conversation about this live stream I just did. My friends, I love you. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe on YouTube, and I will see you on next week. Take care.